Well, the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
You're not really singing that, are you? When doves cry. Here we go. Oh, nice shot of your neck. And singing and drinking tea. I mean, I think we are live.
I'm just...
You're just waiting for it to catch up. I mean, there's no reason for you to wait.
No.
Let's go.
I don't understand why it does that. There you go. Whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay. We are live here on Patreon, the Daily Extra. Pedro is back in the house. Ready?
Why have I got your mug?
I don't know. It was just one I'd cleaned, but it's clean. So if you just hold it the other way,
No one will know.
no one will know.
It's a bit smaller.
You're literally. Oh, always there, aren't you? Always there. It's all about deflection. I feel as though you've got an issue with small things, and
I haven't.
you're trying to put it onto me.
What about back?
What's wrong with your back?
back's
You've been
gone
moving like you're 80-12 today. That's what you've been.
12.
That's what you've been moving.
Back's gone again.
People are here already. Matty 101. Hey, hello Matt. LA Walkway. Hello lads. Hello Stephen Kelly. I mean, really, Steve probably should have been here somewhere today, but he wasn't.
No, he couldn't make it.
I know he couldn't.
He had a sick child.
He did, and that's the best excuse you can have. Stephen Dutton, he's here as well. Can
you? Is that the best excuse you can have? Can you question a sick child?
You can't. I don't think you can
No.
question.
Is it up there with lady problems? I'm just asking the question.
I don't know. You can't.
See, I'm not a lady, and I haven't got any children.
No.
So I'm trying to think.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of the excuses I could come up with.
Oh, okay. You haven't got any. Your car breaking down to get up the worst one you can get, or locking your keys in the car.
It happened.
Then there we go. But yeah, let's get into it. Stephen's actually mentioned here a story that was hot on social media yesterday, which was about Romelu Lukaku returning to Everton. I don't know where this story come from. I don't know the origins of it. I haven't seen any kind of quote from Romelu Lukaku, but there was a full-on conversation yesterday with people saying...
Aren't they the best conversations on social media though? The ones that people get really hyped up upon, and you can never find like the original, where the original quote came from. I mean, I'll be honest, it is handy now and again for the daily. You know, you just throw something out there, and people are like, "Where did that come from?" You're like, "Oh, I found it on some website."
I've seen it somewhere.
No, we didn't create that link whatsoever.
No,
to that
we're
player.
not Sky Bet.
I mean, we could be. I mean, it might be an avenue we could go down.
I mean, that's what we need to do, because we might make some money then. But Lukaku, just on Lukaku, I mean...
So what's the quote he's supposed to...
Well, allegedly, someone has said he said Everton is his home, which I find nonsense, because he's...
You're fucking cooking.
I just find nonsense, because given he deleted all his pictures of us, and he celebrated when he scored against us, and all of that nonsense. He's tried to wipe out any memories.
He is an odd cat, isn't he?
He's a weirdo.
He had, was it 4 years?
4 years.
4 good years at Everton. Made his name, scored goals, was appreciated, even at times when he shouldn't have been or didn't have to be. And yet scored against Everton and give our fans abuse. Scored against West Brom, and it's all, oh no,
yeah.
I can't disrespect that club I was on loan to
for 1 year.
Yeah,
absolutely weird.
So
weird.
Maybe he's starting to realise that the grass isn't greener, and sometimes these players become legends by staying around where they are and making the club they're at better, and they can get all the plaudits. There's something to be said about a big fish in a, not saying a small pond, but a smaller pond, because suddenly you go into one of these mega clubs like Man United, mega commercial clubs, and suddenly you find yourself not as appreciated because you don't wear the kit on the posters because you're sponsored by a different boot company and all this kind of crap. Whereas Everton, we our fans just loved you because you scored goals. Ultimately,
loved you for being a footballer.
Yeah, and that's essentially what we've always done, isn't it? As a club,
I just think, for me, I had my issues with him because he's just got a mouth like I don't know what, and he's at it again. He was at it again last week, wasn't he? I know where I've made my mind up and all that bollocks that he
isn't
loves.
that football? Isn't that a lot of footballers nowadays?
It's just nonsense,
isn't it? It's horrible, isn't it?
They just don't say a word. Concentrate on who employs you, but. Yeah. He's gone there, and you're right. He's moved, thought he was going to do this, that, and the other at United, and he's gone there at a time when they're going backwards, not going forwards. And he left Everton. The key element to this is: would you have him back?
Yes,
you would.
Yes, I would have him back as a footballer. I would have him back, and maybe as a person, he may have grown and realised that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But
he'd have to work very hard to play in our team now, and I don't know whether he does work hard enough. But if he come back with that, the bit between his teeth and keen to prove a point, and he's playing in our team with much better players than when he left, and the team's got a way of playing, then you'd be silly to say you wouldn't take him back, given the amount of goals that he's capable of scoring. And there's not many Romelu Lukaku's out there in terms of who can put the ball in the back of the net. But if he maintained this massive knobhead level that he's at, then no, I'd rather him go to Italy. But if he come back and was like, yeah, I want to get my head down and do well for the club, then of course you'd take him because he's got goals in him. If you create enough chance for him, he will score.
He's
goals.
Not coming back though.
But he's not coming back.
Get it right.
He'd look at us and think we're well below his level. That's what he thinks. So it is one of them. Would he be welcomed back by the fans, Stephen said? I think it'd be a split state, to be honest. I think there'd be people who were like made up he's back, and there'd be people who like he's a dickhead. That's just my opinion. Stephen Dutton, even on that, with agent Richarlison working hard, how much of a chance you think there is of us getting David Neres?
I don't know. I watched Neres the other night. I thought he was a Brazilian Peter Beagrie.
Was he? Being impressed?
He didn't play well. I didn't think he played well. I thought Richarlison was a lot more effective and worked hard to create things. Whereas Neres just either just passed the ball on to somebody else or didn't do enough to get the ball in the right areas. I thought Richarlison was excellent for Brazil the other night, to be honest. It's just how hard he works, how prepared he is to. When he does that thing where he puts his head really far back when he's like really trying to get it.
Wants to get there.
Yeah. He did that a few times and got the penalty for them, helped create the second goal as well, and was always. What I liked about him was, for a player who hasn't been in the Brazil squad that long, is he looked part of the team, and people realise his worth to the team as well. I think the manager said something like that, the coach last week, didn't he? He feels like he's part of that side, and that side, when you look at the bench, there's no one there who is prepared to put that graft in.
He loves him, Tite. He said he's a starter for Brazil because he's got to be. That's how good he is. He's played his way into that. And if you're prepared to put the amount of effort in that Richarlison does, he's got all the physical attributes.
Means a lot to him as well.
Yeah, you could tell the video when he was waiting to see if he was named in the squad, and he's with all the kids and all of that. He doesn't seem to have any of the nonsense that the likes of Pogba has and Lukaku has, those type of people. Neymar's probably the best example, given these.
Brazil. Paris Saint-Germain owner has come out, hasn't he? He said he's not prepared to put up with this celebrity type of player anymore, because all they've had is trouble in the last year. They've had Mbappe booting shite out of someone in the cup final, Neymar punching someone in the face, going up to get his medal, and then getting off to Brazil. He's had this accusation with a girl. It's just like
Rabiot acting over.
But it's that idea, isn't it, of what do we actually get for it? Where you look at Richarlison and you think, well, where's the trouble? There isn't any trouble. It's a lad who just wants to go out and play footy on the pitch and work hard, and
And that's what
what
it
it's
should
all
be
about,
about.
isn't it?
And we have the same with Bernard, don't we? Our club, he's just a lad that goes to South Stack with his girlfriend.
I mean, you wouldn't.
Exactly.
But Neres, I mean, going back to the original question, they're going to ask a hell of a lot of money for Neres, and it's whether I mean, don't get me wrong, the thing, we're all sitting here going, we'd love him, because if we were to get him, I think a lot of people would go, what? Everton have managed to get him.
Yeah.
And for what part of me, I want him for that reason alone.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was going to say. Is this more down to the hype that's been created around him due to the Champions League, that you're looking at him now going, oh, imagine if we pulled Neres, you know.
Well, he's a starter on the left
that deal
for Brazil. So, and he got to the Champions League semi-final with Ajax, and he's clearly a talent. I don't think he's an £80 million worth talent, though. I really don't. I just don't. And I think Marcel Brands knows the value of everything.
Yeah. Listen, if it's anything above 35 million, he's not coming. And that's the truth about it. Everton interested in him. I think Brands likes him. I think the fact that Richarlison spoke about him, you know, and I think he's known Richarlison a long time. I think he'd look at Everton and think, I'd like to go there. It's the Premier League. They're a good side. I've got Richarlison there who we know, Bernard, Brazilian, you know, the Portuguese element are there. He can speak to, you know, with the manager. I think he'd like to come here, but like you say, if Ajax are asking for that kind of money, Brands is just going to be like, yeah, we can get Malcolm for a lot cheaper, or other players who were better value, you know, and we'll have to wait and see on that one. Adam Galloway seen Singala going to Arsenal. Singala? Do you mean Saliba? I think that's who you mean. He's a very, very good centre-back, 18 years of age, from Saint Etienne. I'd have loved Everton to go for him. 25 million as well, good value for money. But if Everton have got their mindset on Kurt Zouma, then they're not going to go and try to buy another centre-back who would be in his way. Kane Forshaw, did Lukaku actually say that?
Don't know, Kane.
Near his home, or is it another rumour from the Taxi Club page on Facebook? Possibly.
You're a mod on that. So what are you?
Yeah, what's going on?
We said before, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like you get these and they spread like wildfire, and you know there's just some like 14-year-old kid in his bedroom going. It happens. It happens. You know, it happens. It's the internet.
LA Walkway, is the cool cat Andre done and dusted? Load saying it is. No.
Well, it's not done and dusted because it's not done and dusted.
No. I think it's probably close, but it isn't done. And all the people who are putting it out there are trying to be ones that will say, I told you first. But the reality is, it isn't done. And that's the reality. It isn't done. So you can say all you want, can't you? You can try to be first.
He's still on holiday.
That. It's all I get. He's still away, yeah. But it isn't done anyway between the two clubs, which is key. Andre Gomez wants to come to Everton. We've known that for a while, haven't we? Let's be honest. Forget it, the games his agent was playing, you know, with playing West Ham off, and Barca was saying West Ham can bid for him, trying to get more money. The reality is, he wanted to come to Everton. Even the Spurs thing, that was nonsense. He told everybody where he wanted to go, and it's down to Everton. And Brands is like, I mean, you said this the other week. It's the same thing. But just wait. We know he wants to come here, so we're comfortable with it. He done it with Yerry Mina.
Well, we've seen this week with Barcelona doing it to us with Silerson.
Yeah,
by claiming we were in for Silerson, and Everton apparently come out. Someone told one of the newspapers, "I'm interested." Valencia have reopened talks about signing. It's football. It's what they do. It's
Rabiot's agents doing. That's done it to us. Everton are one of the favourites to get Rabiot. Well, why would we be one of the favourites when he said Spurs weren't big enough for him? And they're in the Champions League. Everything just got to a Champions League final. We're not in it. It's just his agent going, they'll pay that money to try and bring United to the table, or to get him a better deal at PSG. Think he's just done it. Mateta, Jean-Philippe Mateta at Mainz has just got a new deal off the back of saying Everton wanted him. You know, striker, he's just got a new 5-year improved deal.
Mad.
It is. That's what we're in at the moment, aren't we? Where are we? Stephen Dutton, isn't it just Belgian footballers? They all seem to have a bit of a mouth. The new Dutch. It's what the Dutch footballers used to be like, didn't they? Matty 101, is there a future for Benny Beningame at the club? In your opinion, Pedro?
I don't know. I don't know. He's a weird one, isn't he? He just is a.
Do you ever feel like in the games that he played, he let us down though.
Did you ever feel like in the games he played he did anything?
I just think he'd done what he was asked to do, which is basically win the ball and just pass it on. I don't think he's not a midfield player who's going to get the ball, run up the pitch with it, and offer anything.
I honestly don't think he's got enough energy. I just don't think he gets around the pitch quick enough. I think he's a player who just likes to stand in a round.
I think he's a bit like Schneiderlin.
More than Garner. And we need Garner more than we need Schneiderlin. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think he definitely needs to go. It's whether they look at him and go, you know what? He could do what Schneiderlin does for us, and save us £80,000 a week,
and train every day.
But it's hard to know that he had the injury problems last season, didn't he?
Is he one you'd like to? I know because you're funny with your loans.
I couldn't care less. No, I honestly, for him, I look at him and just go.
But he's for argument's sake, is he one that you'd consider putting on loan for a season?
Send them all to Germany.
Yeah,
I think he needs a loan. I think he's going to play for Everton. I don't think he's going to play. But it depends, doesn't it? Because we're bringing, with someone Gomez, and Schneiderlin's had his say about he's sort of 50-50. He said that himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
And the Ghana situation is, he's obviously going to the AFCON, scored yesterday.
He did score the winner.
But it's difficult, isn't it? Because with that whole situation with Ghana re-emerge once the AFCON's finished? There's been rumours of Paris Saint-Germain wanting them again. There's been rumours of us wanting players in France to replace him. It's a difficult one, but I don't think I haven't seen enough of Benny Benimi to get me excited. I really haven't. And if you want kids to come through and be part of the squad, you need that little bit of excitement.
Fair enough. Stephen Kelly, do you think there's a chance we might not get a centre forward and he goes with 3 inside forwards like the RS? Okay, I'll go for it. I think there is that chance because I think they're looking for the right centre forward, and I think if he can't get the right centre forward, I think we're more likely to buy another wide player, the left-footed right winger, so to speak, has been mentioned many times. And if that's the situation, Steve, then I can see Richarlison being considered for a striking role alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's what I see. What about you?
I think if we don't get a centre forward, but we do get another wide player, then you'd have to say, well, Richarlison can play in that space. But it's weird, isn't it? It's still very quiet. Which isn't a bad thing. Let's not think it's a bad thing. It's still very, very quiet. They seem to be doing the business very, very quietly. It's just, I think for fans, when you hear things like the club knew in March and April who they wanted, and business hasn't been done yet, you start worrying and panicking and think, well, just because we identify people doesn't mean we've got it done. But who has got anything done? The clubs there's been very, very little. Man United brought the young lad in from Swansea, but they obviously feel like they needed to get that done. There's a few rumours and a few murmurings, but I don't know.
West Ham signed.
They bought a kid, didn't they?
Fornals the other day. He's a good player, but it's whether he can adapt in the Premier League. But he's a decent player.
Yeah.
They're trying to get Gomez, aren't they? Maxi Gomez, who's, is what he is. But West Ham wanted Andre Gomez. Knew that they couldn't get him, and went and got Fornals. So that's what it is as well, isn't it? But we'll have to see. Derek Hulton, I've seen Neres a few times, and I have to say he isn't worth 80 million. Typically good winger, he floats in and out of games, but not what we need at that price. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Malcolm is the winger forward for us. He scores goals. Say no more. Well, yeah, Malcolm has been mentioned many times, and listen, Barcelona are trying to offload him. We've got a good relationship with Barcelona. Marcel Brands isn't worried about going into a room with them and getting players. So if that's in the offing, then I'm sure Brands would look. If Brands looks and sees Malcolm for 30 or Neres for 80, he ain't going to choose Neres, is he? So Kane for... Oh, go on.
I was just going to say as well, it depends what Ajax are doing as well, whether they need to sell him or aren't that bothered about selling him or want to introduce a bidding war for him. I just don't think we as a club now are going to get involved in things like that. And the names being out there for a while, it's getting pushed even more because of Richarlison being his mate and people, and we know there's. Listen, when you
sure Charles Stevenson didn't break it on Twitter?
Charles Stevenson probably
because he said he told everyone first in May, but we done a News Daily in March when it said Everton were after him. So maybe.
But who can? I'm not here to argue with Charles.
No, I'm not. He seems like a nice fella. Kane for sure. Would you rather have a night out with Royston Trent or Andy van der Meijden?
Neither, Kane. I'm past that level.
I'm past that level, but if he had to choose one, it'd be Trent because he hasn't been a massive tit about Everton. He says he blames himself for Everton not working out. Said he had a great opportunity and ruined it. Van der Meijden's just a bitter dickhead. He snorted and
allegedly. I was once working on a Saturday night, and I was on London Road, and this car pulled up alongside me. You know, you could hear the revs before you got there. And I looked over, it was Trente, and he looked over to me and he went, "How do I get to the Hilton?" And I went, "Follow me."
He took him.
And I took him to the Hilton, and then just went, "See you later." He went, "Just down there, I'll see you later." You know, blah blah blah. That was it. That's my Trente story.
So
I was out with Trente.
You were out with Trente. So essentially, you've had the night out with Trente. Talking about. So there you go. Valhalla Viking, the duo, are back together. We are. LA Walkway, shout out to me for last week. Held the fort. Great content, class guest. Well in Baz. It's right.
I had to do it on my own when nothing was happening.
Nothing was happening last week. I created it.
Yeah.
Matty 101 seen paper talk. Aston Villa bidding. Said this to you before, didn't I? 6 mil for Kieran Dowell. But I think he could be back up for Gylfi. That was in January, wasn't it? Apparently they'd sounded out a 6 million bid for Dowell. Everton refused it. Dowell went to Sheffield United on loan. Could he replace Gylfi Sigurdsson in Everton's team?
Well, we've done a video about Vlasic today, and that'll be out a bit later on.
Kieran Dowell,
he could be, I suppose. I mean, again, the ideal situation would be go back to Sheffield United and have a year at Sheffield United on loan, get some Premier League experience. I'm sure he'd play some games. The manager knows him. They've got a boss song for him.
All the things you need.
Do you know? Well, those kind of things. It sounds stupid, but those kind of things do help, though.
Oh yeah,
because it means he's part of the part of the family at Sheffield United. So I'd be tempted to do that because I think Gylfi plays a lot of games and can play a lot of games. I think he's got that mentality. So I mean, there are times when you need to you don't need him in the team, but I think we've got the players to replace him. I'd rather see Dowell for his career go and play some games in the Premier League. Look at John Joe. John Joe's gone to Schalke. Fantastic move, that absolutely fantastic move. It almost makes me feel tempted to go over and watch them next year.
I think we are. If we can do Dusseldorf on a Saturday again and then Schalke on the Sunday up the road, that's what we're doing. So we need to look at that.
If you're there first, and get an interview with them over there.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that
ironically that'd be easier to get than asking Everton when the 5 months down the road.
But that move makes sense. He's a lad who the club probably think he's got something, but he hasn't quite got it, and he ain't going to get it sitting on the bench. So let's send him somewhere where he's going to play games, experience another culture, another way of playing, and it'll help him come back at a time when it might be the right time to try and replace Seamus Coleman. And the same could be said for Dal. A year at Sheffield United will do him a lot more good than having a year at Everton. So I think that would make sense.
I mean, all the rumours are they want to keep him for this year, don't they? And I suppose he's low risk to them. He's been there, he knows the manager, he knows the players, he's at a Premier League club anyway. You know, I think I'd like to see him playing in the Premier League at that level for them and see if he can perform to that level. And it'd give Everton a great insight really as to what to do with him. If he can perform for Sheffield United in the Premier League in games where he's in that team and part of it, then it gives you that step up, doesn't it? Whereas if he comes back here and is knocking around trying to get in the 18 every week and he's not, you know, he's in sometimes and then he's in the 23s again. I just think he's stagnant then, because he's 21, isn't he? So he needs to be playing. And I think Sheffield United will be fantastic for him if he can remain there.
I think from what we've seen of him, he is a player who tends to drift out of games, drift out of maybe periods as well. You know, when he was at Forest, he was in a great little spell, and suddenly things changed with the manager, and he just
lost his way.
He drifted out. Maybe being in the Premier League with a club that he's been at, with a manager who knows him and knows how to get the best of him. You know, when he played there, I think he played as a wing back, played as a number 10. For the under-21s, he's played as a hold midfielder as well, so he gets more of the ball. Maybe at Sheffield United and know what it means to him, maybe being in a battle in the Premier League will focus his mind, and he'll understand that he can't just drift around. It'll mean something, you know.
Every point is
important. And I know at the end of last season he wasn't playing massively regularly, but there was times I watched him play against Villa, and I think it was the game they drew 3-3, and he was brilliant, and he really played well. So I think he set up a couple of goals, and so he has his moments. I think it's those. We spoke to David Unsworth about him. David Unsworth said he's Premier League class. So he's really excited about him, really likes him. So if he feels like that about him, then he must have something. It's just putting it all together, and maybe going to Sheffield United in the Premier League will mean he'll put it all together, and he'll come through at Everton just at the right time for when maybe Gylfi Sigurdsson needs that competition to keep him going.
Yeah, very interesting point. Stephen Dutton, would you have Neres or Malcolm? Is somebody else we should be going for as a marquee signing, or should we be trying that this transfer period? I don't really think I don't know whether we need a marquee signing. I think it's great for fans, but a marquee signing for me would have to be someone like Timo Werner, who people just didn't think we had the remotest chance of getting. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's like...
Isn't that a marquee signing?
Yeah, I'm saying, but if we go for one, that would be that level. I don't think we could get one at the top level, could we? We wouldn't beat Barcelona to a player if they really wanted them, would we? But I think buying for the team is far more important.
I think there's some players that you look at that might not be marquee signings when you bought them, but when you look back and you go, I mean, look at the people we bought last summer. Richarlison now playing for Brazil in the Copa America, playing really well. Now looks to be a marquee signing.
Yeah.
Luca Dean, bring him in from Barcelona. People are like, don't really know who this fella is. Now you're like, that was a marquee signing. Bringing Andre Gomez in on loan, we get him over the line. Which
on a free.
Yeah, they were marquee signings. It's just that we weren't aware that they were. So the manager, and see, like you just said there about the fans look at marquee signings, and we get into that era of the whole sort of Moneyball thing again. Of what we perceive as a fan who just watches a bit of football maybe and go, from the outside you see someone and go, oh, he's brilliant, he does this, and you know, oh look how amazing he is, look how he's portrayed in the media, blah blah blah. Whereas Marcel Brands and Silva might be absolutely dying for a couple of signings that to us we're like, ew, you know, but to them they're like, no, these couple of players knit it all together, make the team what it is. These are the players we really want. Whereas a fan, you sit down and you're like, I know fans are getting a lot more knowledgeable about players now,
especially when we have Andy on.
Yeah, especially when we have Andy on. But so they're getting a lot more knowledgeable, a lot more starting to understand all the ins and outs of what clubs are looking for when they buy players. And I think as long as the club go after players and they're happy with what they get, then that's all you can really ask for. I've seen people criticising getting Andre Gomez and saying, look what he done last season, look at this, look at that. The club want him. If they want Kurt Zouma, then let's get them, and then we go on to the next ones. You can't sit there and go, well, I don't really like him. But if the manager wants him and Marcel Brands wants him, because it keeps that continuity and keeps that what we had towards the end of the season together, that's all you can really ask for, and then we go on from there.
I think Andre Gomez, you can look at him, and I've done it as well. Is he creative enough? 1 assist, 1 goal. That's not good enough from that position. Same with Bernard, exactly the same stats, 1 or 2 assists, 1 goal. It's not good enough. But what I look at those two is I look and think, this season with the pre-season under the belt, the pair of them will go up a level. Gomez, when he signs, will feel like he belongs because we've wanted him. We've had him on loan. We've wanted him. We've paid the money for him. He's happy. He can go up another level. If you look at Gomez at Valencia, fantastic at carrying the ball, had goals in him, was making goals, and that confidence. He's seen it at the Wolves game when he scored his goal. He's got that ability. More out of him. Yeah, same with Bernard. Bernard's got goals in him. He's got assists. They were key players. Gomez will be key for the way we play for Marco Silva, so it's important to get him. Kurt Zouma's another one. But I think buying for I think what's really good for us now, and what the advantage we've got from 12 months ago, and to be honest, for a few years now, is this: we've got a manager in charge with a director of football who knows the way we want to play, the style we want to play, and knows that we're buying to improve that team now. We're just looking for good players who are on the horizon. So us as fans, I might say to you, he's bossing, blah de blah, or like Dembele plays for Lyon. Celtic had Moussa Dembele. He's a great striker, and we should definitely buy him. But Brandon Silva might be looking and going, yeah, he's a good player, no question. But this striker does what we need him to do. Say it's like Calvert-Lewin, isn't it? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, people have an opinion on him. But for the team, Cenk Tosun might score more goals than Dominic Calvert-Lewin over the season in a team, whatever. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the way he plays in that team, improves the way we play because he puts it together. And that's what they're looking for now. I look at them across the park at times and look at their midfield and go, I wouldn't have any of them. But as a unit, it works for them. Other teams have done in the past, you've always looked and gone, yeah, he's not that good, but as a pairing or as a team, they gel, and that's what we're looking at. We might sign 2 players in this window, and people go, I wouldn't have got him. I'd have got him, or I'd have gone for him. There was a lot of, I don't know whether you've seen it Saturday, but there was a lot of people fuming over who West Ham signing Fornals and then Maxi Gomez. Why aren't we in for these players? We should be doing that, and it's like we can't be in for everyone. It's the first thing. Secondly, those players won't fit the way we want to play. So why would we buy them just because they're available? We've done that before and it didn't work. So you've got to be patient, and it is difficult, but you just got to leave it up to them. They know what they're doing, don't they? Stephen Kelly, do you think Sangare will be an upgrade on Ghana? Thought the shows with Andy were brilliant insight on players who we might not know. Ibrahim Sangare looks like a fantastic player. 6'4", gets about the pitch, does what Ghana does. He's a little bit more creative than Ghana. Ghana's probably still at this moment in time in the career better defensively, but Sangare can do both. For 25 million for me, I'd just buy him anyway, regardless of what Ghana's going to do, because I think you buy in potential as well. But Ghana's key to us, isn't he?
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, he's key, isn't he?
Again, though, I'd like to think that they'll know what's happening with Ghana's future. They're not sort of, I don't think they're doing business on an open prayer. We can't, we're more than halfway through June now. They're back in 2 weeks for pre-season. Back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
They need to know they need to know what players' preferences are, or the situation with. You can't bury your head in the sand. You've got to say to the agents of these players, are you looking to leave the club? Whether that be Ghana, whether that be Schneidlin, Walcott, the situation with Cenk. I know he's got an injury, so it's going to be more difficult. They need to know with Zouma how he feels about coming back. There's all these things that the club need to know, because as I said, what's the point in just going la 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 la, sticking your fingers in your ears? If you know the situation, you can make a plan. So if Ghana said, listen, gonna get the AFCON out the way, and then I want to go to Paris Saint-Germain. If the agent's saying it, and the club Paris Saint-Germain is saying it, then as long as Everton know that and are saying, well, we're prepared to let you go for this price. If they meet it, we'll let you go, and we've got this player ready to come in. Then what can you? That's how a good club is run. That, you know, when Liverpool, when they were getting rid of Coutinho, which seems to be probably the best bit of business anyone's ever done. Yeah. It's a player that they didn't actually need, and they got 100 million for him, and it allowed them to bring in the centre back they needed to bring in and help them get the goalie they needed to bring in. And that's the way Klopp looked at it. Whereas everyone else, we're all, you sold your best player and all that. We're living now in times where football doesn't work like that. Where this is what gets me up Man City, and people go, you spent all that money. It's like, they didn't spend all that money at all. Look at the players they bought. The players they bought are actually, they bought for reasonable prices. Go and look at someone like Paris Saint-Germain who do it the opposite way. Yes, they've done brilliantly well at home, but they haven't been able to put it all together, and now they're talking about scrapping it all and looking at it a different way because they're having too many problems. They've given too much power over to players. You've got to get it all right, and that takes now meaning to wheel and deal, doesn't it? Because of FFP. You've got to be able to say, well, he's a luxury we don't need anymore. Instead of this, for too long, there's this idea of, you're a selling club, or you sell your best players. Well, some clubs might sell their best players, but if it enables them to buy players that fit the team and make the team better, then, you know, Coutinho couldn't get in the Barcelona team at the end of it, and Liverpool were winning the Champions League.
I think every club's a selling club. I've seen Real Madrid are having to sell 8 or 9 of their players to fund what they're doing. Barcelona doing exactly the same. Everyone is now. That's the way it is, and it's the way it should be. That's how football should be. You should be creating your own money to sell. Players buy new ones. That's how it should be. Stephen Dutton, I mean, we should be looking for a marquee. Should we be looking for a marquee sign or saving the money? I'd say save the money and go for better, cheaper players. I think that's what they'll do, Steve. I really do. Valhalla Viking think the delay on Gomez is purely about us getting them for a bit lower than 30 million euros they want. It's all about getting the best deal possible. It's the right thing to do. Agree with that, don't you?
Yeah.
Stephen Kelly, Mina was fantastic the other night for Colombia. I really think there's a top player in there.
He was
Thoughts
good
on him? Well, we've said all season that this season we think we'll see the best of him. We believe, we think the same, that he could really be the mainstay in our defence, the leader. I mean, have you seen?
I thought he was excellent the other night. I thought, especially late on in the game, Argentina weren't great, but late on in the game when they were throwing balls into the box, he was winning everything. No, he took the ball well, took it under pressure.
What did he look like pace-wise?
He never got tested, I don't think, too much. Argentina were bad, really bad.
But if you play in a defence that keeps Aguero and Messi quiet, then you've not done bad.
No, and you know, set pieces is always a threat. It was a difficult game to watch. It was stop-start. It was really pathetic at times. Really, really was. So we'll see though. Listen, he's got another tournament. Colombia, probably one of the favourites. It's not too many. Brazil and Colombia probably. Uruguay won last night.
4-0 last night.
So they've got that side's coming to the end now, isn't it?
So the last real one for.
So they've got they've got talent. So I think they're the 3 big teams. Brazil obviously being at home, but they took a while to get to sort of fit together as well.
Penalty started it, wasn't it?
So they're just difficult games to watch because everyone they all just throw themselves on the floor. I mean, Richarlison actually stayed on his feet longer than anyone else.
There you go. You don't need to say another word. Yeah. So yeah, Steve, we're big fans of him. We think he'll be a good
player more on Payton
for us. Tom Jennings, well, I look there. Love Big Dunk, but is he a coach we need in today's day and age?
Yeah, but I hear this quite a lot.
I don't understand.
And I don't
get it.
What do you think he does?
Doesn't
do. He's a coach. He just.
Part of the coach.
I spoke to him last year at Blackburn, and we were talking about this, and he said to me, he said, I believe some people online a little bit have said a few things about me, and I just said to him, never go on social media, mate. And he said, I'm employed by the club. He said, I get asked to do a job and I do the job. And I don't know what people think. I don't know either way what people think is, because I heard some people say make him the assistant manager, and then and then you hear people saying, oh, what does he do? And you're just like, he's a coach. It's just a job. He goes in. He probably helps the forwards do a bit, but he's a general coach. He'll have earned his coaching badges, learning drill. Coaching is not alright. There'll be some coaching which is like free form, but a lot of it is by the book that you learn. You learn how to talk to people. You have to go and get your coaching badges. You're qualified. That's why you have coaching badges. So you learn how to become a coach, and that's what he's done. And he takes that and takes it onto the training field. And he's not doing anything. A lot of it will be paint by numbers. It really will be. I've done coaching courses. They are very much paint by numbers all the way up. They get more technical, obviously, as they go up, and there's more different things. He obviously can do. The manager will say to him, "Do us a favour, don't go over there and take that drill for me, or just make sure the thing I've asked them to do, they're doing." So when there's like, you know, when you've got all the training, and everyone looks to experience this. You've got you don't have 11v11. You break them all up. So the manager will say, right, don't take that group. You take this group, and you might have different sessions going on at the same time, and then you'll swap over. Right, you come over here and do this session now. And those coaches like Duncan will be there to make sure they're doing them. And if they're not doing them, he'll grab someone and go, right, what you should be doing is this. This is what the managers ask you to do. And before the coaching takes place, the manager will sit down with his coaches and go, right, I want this, and this is what I want them. This is what I want them to learn from this. And that's what Duncan's job is, like any other coach, is to make sure that the instructions the managers give them, the players do it. And when we had things like the Morales Sneijder situation last year or the year before, they clearly wouldn't have been doing the thing that the manager asked them. So Duncan would have gone over and gone, listen lads, are you doing this or are you not doing this? And they were, on that day, didn't want to do it. So Duncan said, well, what's the point in being here then? Go. That's what his job is. It comes from the top down.
I agree. I mean, every morning they have a meeting at 9 o'clock, I think, before they start training and go through what they're doing. And I think, and Thomas, to be fair, Thomas isn't having a go at him, asking him. But I think a lot of people get hung up on what it is. But Duncan Ferguson's got his UEFA Pro licence. He's a qualified coach. It's not, they've not dragged him in off the street and just give him a job. He's a qualified coach. He's done it. He's earned his coaching badge.
He said effectively, he's gotten a degree in coaching.
That's what it is. A lot of managers didn't have it. Gareth Southgate didn't have it and was Middlesbrough manager. So there you go. Tim Cahill's just done it, and I'm seeing people go and give Cahill the assistant manager. Duncan, for me, takes a lot of criticism for when things are going bad for no reason. It's like he's part of a team. So why is it just Duncan's fault? It's mad. I just think it's mad. He's a coach that does his job. I believe he does it well. I don't know. I'm not a Finch Farm every single day, but I believe he does it well. And you've got players like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Cenk Tosun spoken about how much he's helped their game. Richarlison.
I think people believe there's an element of nepotism in it, don't they?
Well, maybe.
But the point being is that I think when he came back to the club, David Moyes gave him a chance and said to him he had to get he was doing his coaching badges in Scotland, and he had to get so many hours. He obviously wanted to be at Everton, but he wasn't being paid to be Everton's coach.
No,
he was just there doing his hours. Is what you've got to do when you're becoming a coach. You've got to get, even at the lowest level, you've got to get like 70 hours, I think, for your B licence. So he would have had to have got his hours. They'll have had to make sure it was in a controlled environment and all the rest of it. When they done that, they obviously felt like he was a good enough coach that they were going to give him a job. But that happens at every club. Every club is going to bring back people into the club.
Fowler was at Liverpool.
Well, he's not now. He's in Australia.
Yeah, but he was at Liverpool, wasn't
he? So you had
been...
Stubbs, was the under-23s. Unsworth was his assistant. Stubbs went, give the job to Unsworth. Unsworth then brought in John Ebbrell, You've got. If you go to Everton, you will see that all of the coaches have played for Everton at some point. Phil Jevons is there. Mick O'Brien used to be there. He was the youth club captain in '98.
Paul Tate's there. He used to play for us and play for Birmingham.
There'll be at every level. There'll be someone who would have been at the club, and that's you find that at most clubs.
If you go to Ajax, their club's run by the whole ex-players, and has been forever.
That's the bigger, because it's like they understand the club, so we want them back. They understand, Barcelona, Pep Guardiola took over as manager, and Xavi's going to end up taking over as the manager.
So that's how it is. Toffee 96. Do your families watch Toffee TV? What do they think?
They have enough of me at home.
My dad does, I think. My brother watches it sometimes. They like it. They all like it. It's Everton, isn't it? Just people talking about Everton, so they enjoy it. Adam Galloway, any news on Baines' contract yet? There isn't, is there? There was a strong rumour that
he's been offered one, hasn't he?
He's been offered
probably
one, and he was going to sign it.
I think if he thought he wasn't going to sign it, they'd already know. But
yeah, so he probably will. Maybe he's just
probably still on holiday.
And he'll just get round to it when he does. Might be this week. Might be an announcement.
Don't forget, players only get one chance to go on holiday in the entire year.
Yeah, so
and they make the most of it. They'll go. They'll go here, there, and everywhere.
And rightly so.
You think about what footballers sacrifice. I know they have privileged lives, but you think about a footballer though, from July the 1st till the middle of May. End of May, depending. Let's think the internationals have only just finished. Gylfi Sigurdsson got married at the weekend.
Yeah, he did.
First chance he had. Garner still is the AFCON. Richarlison's in. These players only get a window of a month to be with their families solidly, to go away.
Forget about football.
Mentally,
which is important.
Mentally and physically. They'll take the kids will probably all go to like private schools and stuff like that. That's how they get around taking them out of school. But they'll smash it, won't they, for like a month? Get away, go this. Because and it's not like us. And we can take a week here or a day there or whatever. Footballers are like when the season starts, they're on the clock all the time. If the club say to them, right,
told what to eat and everything.
If we need you to be here tonight for this thing, right, they got to be there. You're staying in a hotel.
And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, but that's the demands.
Their lives are controlled for 10, 11 months of the year. For 1 month they get, and even that 1 month they don't even get control anymore.
Well, they get given the diet, don't they?
Get given the diet, and they get given exercises that for them, an exercise program to keep them in everything is.
Everything's monitored, so fair play. Gary Ward, after the success they had last season, Brands has earned my trust. He should have earned all our trust, shouldn't he, really, him and Silva? Thomas, because he'd asked about the dunk thing, he was talking more about if we were playing 3 strikers, different formation than 1 or 2 up top. Love him, by the way, just wanted your
He's not
a striker coach, he's just a general
coach. He isn't a striker coach.
Richard Rowlands, hey Baz and Ped, love the channel. I agree, I think Brands and Silva will look more for players to knit the team together rather than individual quality players. The right way to do it, isn't it, Richard, really? Stephen, we've just talked about the Baines thing, didn't we? Also seen a few teams whose kit make his Umbro. Some of them look awful, I saw. Don't worry about it, it's a kit, and we wear it, and then we replace it next season. Don't worry about what the kit looks like, mate.
Who's did he say is awful? Any?
Hulls.
I like Hulls, because it's their kit. No, but to them, that's their kit. To us, it'd be awful, but we're not called the Tigers.
No.
And we're not from Hull.
No. I just wonder what people are making with the blue flecks on ours. They like blue flecks.
The away and third.
The away and second and third are brilliant. Simon Harris, alright lads, I reckon Big Dunk is still a great coach. He gets the club, but he also knows how to be physical frontman for us. Look how much DCL was brought on this season. Totally agree. Thomas Jennings, I should have made my points a bit clearer, but understand more how the coaching works. Love Big Dunk. It's fine, Thomas. It was good because it sparked the conversation. Daniel Skelton on Patreon. As we have not been linked with many strikers as wingers, could the plan be next season to play Richarlison as a 9 and spend the money on a winger?
Maybe.
It could be. Listen, that's how it might play out if they can't get the person.
I think they've got a hell of a lot of hope for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I seriously think they have. I think, I mean,
I think it's naive though.
Brand said this.
Everything
But
on it.
Brand said this in early in the year.
Yeah.
He said we've already got the players. He said, but they're just going to take time. Maybe we need players in other positions, but he might look at the season and go, well, Richarlison can play up front, Dominic Calvert-Lewin can play up front, got Cenk Tosun, we bring another winger in who could play left and right.
Yeah.
Then suddenly we've got
fluid, yeah.
we've got a little
4 or
bit more,
5, haven't you?
and he might. I don't think he's going to spend money for the sake of spending money.
No, that's what I mean by the right striker. If the right striker fits the profile and works in our formation, comes available, he may get him. But other than that, they may just Andrew Floyd. We haven't Lukaku back. We've done that before. Heard anything about Arias from Atletico? Seems a bit old based on what Brands will be targeting. But he's a right back, isn't he? Plays for Atletico. Brands had him at PSV. He's done all right for Atletico, but they may move him on. But who knows? Not really heard that much about him. The link's fresh, isn't it? So we'll see. But who knows?
Do us a favour. Get your Tuesday topics in. Get them on a video.
And get the likes on 29 here. I want to see that at 20 at
It's
least.
only on 9.
30 now. Do it. We're finishing in
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So get
them
your
likes
Tuesday
up now.
topics in via the WhatsApp or WeTransfer. Get them in. We'll do that tomorrow.
More live tomorrow.
We'll
of
be
course.
obviously live tomorrow.
Got Andy coming in as well tomorrow. So a couple of player profiles
Smashing it.
maybe. And yeah,
There you go.
that's about it. The likes have gone to 10.
Come on, get those likes up.
There's 30 of you watching it.
To be fair, they mightn't, because we've said it. They mightn't have heard it yet.
Okay.
Because there is a little bit
Now
of.
they've gone.
Come on, get them up.
There you go. We'll finish with Steve's one. I think Dunk gets grief because of the managers he's had to work with. Maybe. And because he's been here through all of them.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is, isn't it?
That is the way it is.
Look at Steve Boulder, Arsenal. He's been there forever, and
He's just been demoted.
he has. But you know what I mean. I'm just
Fair
saying.
play, point, Baz.
But he's been there for years.
Freddie Lundberg, though. There you go. Freddie Lundberg just
Freddie's
took his
back
place
there.
as the one of the assistant managers or assistant coaches or whatever. So
So
just
they're trying
shows you, doesn't it?
Well, he's trying to just keep the Arsenal theme going, isn't he?
They are snow.
And that's what it's all
Yeah.
about, isn't it? So.
Do you have it? Don't forget, get your Tuesday topics in.
Yeah.
Or just get them in. So we've got some to talk about tomorrow.
Gary Ward, DCL just needs to improve his finishing. He does.
They need to improve everything. We know that. I'm just, there aren't that many good strikers about. That's the problem, and the club are not just gonna go and get one willy or nilly.
Willie might be good. Nearly doesn't get enough goals from me.
There you have it.
There you go.
Thank you for watching.
It
We'll
is
be back
massive.
tomorrow. And buy some t-shirts as well. Because
Look
they're,
at this.
they're amazing. Look at that.
You can get it in. By the way, you can get it in loads of different colours.
Oh, yeah.
There isn't just this colour.
Yeah.
So
Get a
and it's
pink-
great.
Get a pink one.
There's loads.
Get a
Wait
pink
till the
one.
Gomez one's out. And are we doing the Werner one? Oh.
You've said too much, Baz. We'll see you later.
See you later.